Bless you, man. My baby got a cold in the summertime. The worst time to catch a cold. My mom gonna have it soon, but she gonna catch it from you. Again, my mom gonna be sick due to her baby. Okay, how's everybody doing? Come on in, hit the thumbs up button, and we're gonna talk about the color purple debate. I didn't even know there was a color purple debate, but I mean, is it unusual, abnormal? Or something's going on, y'all. Might be my computer. Okay. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. We're gonna put the link in. What's up, D Nice? How you doing? I had a great conversation yesterday. You know, I didn't know it was as real as it seemed to be. I thought it was just a conversation, but it was over there by Aunt T. Aunt T had a by the time I got there anyway, I thought it was just, hey, we having a conversation about a movie, and apparently they're remaking the movie. Now they're remaking the movie, and it's gonna be a musical slash movie, right? You okay, man? No, okay. Which in itself kind of almost tell you that it must be very popular, right? The Color Purple is a movie that has been on Broadway. It traveled around this country. In other countries, it's a movie that is favorite, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I think it. How should I say this? The insight of children. The reason why I say black manosphere men crying as usual, because their debate, their reasoning is, hey, I watched this as a kid, and I didn't even choose to watch it as a kid, and and because I was made to watch it, that's why we got the conflict between men and women. And that is ridiculous, because even within that movie, right? Or let me put it like this. When you was a child, you didn't choose to watch anything, right? Your parents either had it on, watching it, and you sat there with them and watched it. But it's not like you was able to come in from playing outside all day, walk over to the TV and put it on whatever the hell you want. And even then, like, there were movies. So if I'm correct, there is a rating on The Color Purple. We're gonna go look at it though. I'm gonna look at it with y'all, because I don't want, people like to, especially when they don't know me, they like to say, you're lying, you're not telling the truth, look it up, even though they're the ones who don't look shit up, right? So The Color, I did read the book. I read the book. I read the book before the movie came out, right? I'm not even sure. I think my mother read the book, and maybe that's how I got it, right? But before seeing that movie, I read the book. The book is a little juicy, okay? It's juicier than the movie. So, or I might be wrong. So we're gonna look and see when it came out, right? I'm gonna just say that in my family, we didn't have a VCR or a VHS. We rarely had TV, right? And the one TV that was in the house when it was in my mother's room, or my parents' room. Sorry, my parents' room. So I know I didn't watch. I don't think I watched The Color Purple until I was an adult. Okay. But I read the book when I was a kid. So the movie may have already been out. it may have already been out and I just hadn't seen it. So we're gonna look now. We're gonna look. But I know I didn't read. I read that book somewhere in the 80s. Now let me see the movie. It looked like the movie came out in 85. Let's see. Is there? Yeah, it looked like it came out in 85. I read it before 85, which means the movie wasn't out yet. Okay. Y'all got to understand, I was in high school in 1985. I read that book somewhere if I'm correct, I was in middle school. Okay, what some of y'all call junior high, depends on where you live at in your country. So I was in middle school, and I'm assuming my mother was a heavy reader. She mostly read romance novels. She would also read, magazines and gossip and things like that. So I'm not even sure. I had to get the book from her. It had to be a book. And I can tell you exactly how the book started, because it kind of changed the way I even write, right? Based on this book. Okay, because I'm not a heavy reader. I'm just not a heavy reader. I'm not a person who go pick up books and read books. That's not me. Okay. So my mom had mentioned that the book was good. I heard her say this to, some friends and family, and she was talking about it. It may have been already out that they were going to make the movie, or that they were making the movie, or had already made the movie. I'm not sure. But my mom had the book, so I decided to grab it. And the first thing, for the first time, as I can remember, I never read something that was in first person. It was like the book it was telling a story, but it was as if she was telling the story in the story. That was something new to me at the time. So it starts off on something like, I grew up, like kind of like that. Like in some of the books that I read in the past, it would go on as if somebody else is writing the book, right? It'll start describing the characters kind of thing. But this one, right off the bat, you knew that the character was the person who's writing. And to me, that was new, right? That's why it stood out to me. Like at first I was like, whoa, like, wait, is this like her writing in her diary? Because that's what it felt like. But anyway, so let's get to the juicy part of this motherfucker shit. Apparently they're remaking this, right? People are upset about it, and they're reasoning, hey, is something on down there? Hey, babe. Pop. Y'all smell something. He must, hold up, y'all. Where the camera? Let me look. Oh, he coming up. I see him coming. You heard me? Is something on in the kitchen? Okay. Anyway, look, I smell it. I don't want my kitchen burning down. You understand? And he was downstairs on the computer. Anyway, what was I saying? So I read the book, and the book, it starts off kind of slow, just like the movie. Starts off kind of slow. It goes into more detail of what's happening to her, like Dear Diary kind of talk. And then it goes into her marriage. Oh, your daddy here? Oh, it might be cool. So I put shorts on him because he went outside and rode his bike. But you might want to put some pants if it's cold out there. You gonna grab him something to eat when you bring it? Huh? What you mean, you guys? Anyway, so what was I saying? Okay, so the movie. Now, mind you, I'm a kid, a teenager, yes, but I'm still a kid when I read the book, right? I'm also was a younger Though when it came out in 85, I'm now I'm in high school. In 85, I'm definitely in high school. Had probably been there for 2 years. I graduated in 87. It came out 85. So I'm at least a sophomore, right? Um, so for those of you who are claiming that you were young when you saw it, yes, you were very young when you saw it. So this is what's weird about grown-ups who were kids and now they want to place judgment. You know, when I saw that movie, I had a different viewpoint on it as a child. You see, the difference between me and some of these niggas is that I live in reality. I live in reality and I have an understanding. I have an understanding that as children, we are not as, we don't look at things in the same way we look at them as adults. You could look at a movie when you were young, and when you see it as an adult, you come out with a different message altogether. When we're children, we're watching things mostly for entertainment purposes. We're not sitting there watching it to get a life lesson. So yesterday, those men on that panel, all of them for the most part, were disingenuous. Like it was just ridiculous. Very ridiculous. The only way you look at that movie, the same way you look at that movie today, is if you was older than me, that would have mean you were my parents or my grandparents' age. Okay? Now, there are many movies that when I was a child, I watched them when I was a child and I liked them. And now that I'm an adult, when I see some of these movies that I liked when I was a child, I look at them in a different light. And I may not like the movie anymore. You see? You don't want to go, man? No. You need something to buy him something from McDonald's or something? Because I ordered. Because he do need to eat. All he ate was he ate them berries. I gave him vegetables, but he didn't want to eat them. He didn't eat them. You gonna get him some, or you want me to get it? Nick, you gonna see Pop Pop? Hold on to your daddy back. He don't want to leave. He don't want to go by here. When he see his mom, he love her, right? But he don't be wanting to leave here. And he make me so sad when he does that. He been with us all weekend. It's time for him to go see his mom. He gotta see both his parents, y'all. Woo, and it's hard because he don't want to go. He don't want to go. Anyway, I'm gonna close my door because I don't want to hear him cry because he makes me sad. It makes me so sad when he's crying because he don't want to leave. Anyway, he went and wrote his pop. Then he rode his bike. He rode his big wheel today. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, so there's a lot of things when I was a kid. I tell everybody, remember I watched the movie Flashdance. And from my standpoint, oh, they go. He don't want to go. Think they? Oh, you grilled it. And then you try to cover it up. I don't even like that. I'll try it.
It's not that chili, it's some other.
I'm talking about them hot dogs. I don't like grilled hot dogs. That's okay. I'll try it.
Right.
Okay. hubby grilled me some hot dogs, y'all. I'm not hungry. But anyway, so what was I saying? So Flashdance. When I was a kid, I watched Flashdance and I wanted to be her, right? I didn't understand nothing about being no stripper like that. That wasn't on my mindset. I always like wanted to be a dancer, right? So I took dance. I was a dancer, hip hop, ballet, you named it, right? Except tap. That's the only thing. Classical, I danced that, all of that. So when I saw this movie, I was like, wow, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it made me want to be a dancer like her. Now, when I got older, as an adult, I see that, oh, she was a stripper, right? And I see things different from an adult mindset. So the color purple, let's get to that. So the color purple is my mother's generation. If I'm a kid, that means the parents and the adults at that time will be my parents' generation and my grandparents' generation. And therefore, if you have an understanding of them, then you have an understanding of why that movie is so beloved, right? You have an understanding. This movie is one of the first dramas that shows all Black, for the most part. It's about Black life. And although it might not be about Black life today, it was about Black life in my grandparents and my parents' generation. What they saw in that movie, they saw for real. Yesterday, there was an argument about claiming that, oh, people think this movie is real. Nobody said that the movie is real. If it was real, it would be a real family. And we would be able to say, yeah, so Miss Sophia lived in California in the 1920s. And yeah, that was their family. But no, this movie is based on family members. So let me tell you a little bit about the person who wrote the book. In fact, I ain't got to tell you what I know. Let's look it up. Okay. Let's look it up. You'll have a very understanding of why this movie is put the way it is, and you're gonna be able to see why. You'll see that Alice Walker, right? Let me put her name in. You'll understand, for the most part, the movie if you just know a little bit about her. We're just gonna do Alice Walker. See, Alice Walker is a writer. Okay. She was born in 44, making her would be my mother's age, right? I think my mother was born in 45, I think. Okay. So she's a little older than my mother. It's weird because when we online and we're talking and we talk about Black people, whether it's a Black man or a Black woman, I've never seen a whole generation of people so fucking disrespectful. And what's worse is that you're not even disrespectful to your neighbor or the people around you. You disrespect those in our community who have created something. They created something. Instead of if you don't like what they created, then maybe you should do what they did and create something different. But the sheer disrespect, and I don't like Alice Walker when you don't know her, but the disrespecting that by claiming that she hated Black men, when that could be true, that she hated a few Black men in her family. But I guess you need to go and look at her story. Okay. I don't even know if there's an Alice Walker story, but I do know I've read some things about Alice Walker because she is prominent in the feminist movement and different things like that. And the reason, I'm not sure if she became a prominent member after writing the book and many women reached out to her, or if she was already doing that before. I don't know. And I guess we'll see. Right? So She is an American novelist, short story writer, poet, and social activist. In 82, she became the first African-American woman to win the plus, how you say that? I don't know how to say it, y'all. Okay, it's the prize for fiction, right? She's writing fiction, not nonfiction, but I think she wrote some nonfiction too. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, which she was awarded for her novel, The Color Purple. See, fiction. I'm not sure if y'all know what fiction means. There's nonfiction and there's fiction, right? If y'all need me to look it up, because I had this debate with somebody a few years back, maybe about 4 or 5 years back here on YouTube, when they didn't understand what fiction and nonfiction was. Okay. And I couldn't believe that I kept arguing with them, you know. I'm arguing with them, and there wasn't the ability to share your screen back then. So let's hurry up and do it. Let's just do fiction. Because we know nonfiction would be the opposite of fiction. Okay, right? So it's sad that I have to do this. Did I spell it wrong? No. I did spell it right, didn't I? F-I-C-T. Yeah, I did. Okay, I think when I put meaning, that's what confused it. Fiction is any creative work, chiefly any narrative work portraying individuals, events, or places that are imaginary or in ways that are, let's go to the whole word, y'all. I didn't want to, or in ways that are imaginary. Okay, in ways. Okay, is everything about it is not factual. Okay, fictional portrayals are thus inconsistent and history. No. I got to read that again, y'all. Fictional portrayals are thus inconsistent with history, fact, or plausibility. Okay, so it's false. It role playing, comics, radio dramas, television show, films. It's false. It doesn't mean that they didn't draw off of something real that they either saw, something that happened to them, something that happened to somebody else, something that they heard happen to somebody else or saw happen to others. It doesn't mean that. It just means that the characters in which they put into this movie or the play or the book were not factual characters. There was nobody named Sophia, or maybe there was somebody in her life named Sophia, but everything in the movie, in the book, wasn't about Sophia. Okay, does that make sense? So if I write something, but I make one of the main characters me, right? It's me, but it's not my name. I give them another name, but when I describe them, I describe that she's this woman and her name is Susie, and Susie has light blue eyes that turn green and gray depending on what she's wearing. She stands only 4'11" and a quarter, right? She has hips and thighs that are too much for most men to handle. You know what I mean? If I go into that kind of shit, she got a butt that jiggles when she walks down the street. You know what I mean? And if I describe this person named Susie, but Susie, when I describe Susie, I'm describing myself. And Susie is a single woman of 21. And here I am being a married woman of 53. But You see, that's how that worked. And I'm shocked that yesterday that there are no understanding of this. It shocks me when I'm having conversation with people and they lack common sense. It shocks me, and I don't even know. Like sometimes I be wondering, like, what the hell? Something is that my phone that I kept hearing? Hold up, y'all. Oh yeah, probably if you're downstairs. Yes, I am. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. God damn it. Come. Wait. And I'm gonna tell them to come up at 10. At 10. 10. Do his feet. Oh, I could talk to him and do his feet. I could talk to y'all and do his feet at the same time. Um, in a half hour. I'm gonna do hubby feet while talking to y'all. I'm good with that. Oh, I spelled that wrong, y'all. Oh, I don't know why I just on you. And look like my. Oh wait, what happened? Facebook got hacked, so I had to make a new one. If you got a request from me, and it just okay. I wanted to text her yesterday because I wanted her to see if she wanted to come and bring the baby and take the baby to the pool. You know, it's Memorial Day, y'all, and they opened our community pool. And I'm not listen, I don't know how to swim. My big ass is going. I'm not gonna sink. I probably sink in the beginning, and then I'll be floating like a big ass ball. You know what I'm saying? A butterball in the pool. I don't know how to swim. Okay, hubby say he gonna soak them now, so I'm gonna do hubby feet while talking to y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna put the link up, y'all. But like so fiction. There's fiction and non-fiction. So if we know that fiction is false, right? Then we know that non-fiction is true. Okay. And by the way, if any part of the story, if any part of the story of the movie, because there was a confusion about how movies are even come about. It was weird. And it's hard for me when I'm talking to idiots, right? Because there was a discussion about movies. And so I started talking about writings. And the person was like, but I'm not talking about writing, movies. And I was like, what? He's like, we're not talking about writing. We're talking about movies. And I said, baby, there is no motherfucking movie without writings. Listen, I'm sorry that when what I might be saying doesn't make sense, but I can't make people have common fucking sense, right? If you're talking about fucking movies, but you want to eliminate motherfucking writings, then we have no conversation. There's no conversation to be had. There is not a movie that has been created, right, where there wasn't some writings that took place first, right? The characters had to be built. I think the only thing where that may happen today, because we do have something called reality TV, but even that's scripted, which means it's also written. They just don't write every single detail. They might give you a narrative to kind of follow, and then you just do what you do within that narrative. So it was like, it's hard having conversations with idiots. You know what I mean? Like they have a lack of understanding. and I'm talking, I forgot what that guy name was. It was like two of them, but really, the Clue channel, I think he was trolling. So when, he was up there trolling his asses, he was funny. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, because you could see him when he could see when he was saying something, he would kind of hide his laugh a little bit. So he was trolling. But no, one of the guy came up there. I think it was something bird something, and like he was serious. He was legit serious about what he was saying. I was like, nigga, what? So I'm sorry if like when I go to explain something, if you don't understand it, and then you won't even give me a chance to explain it, or when I do, you still don't understand it, that's not my fault. That's your fault that you don't understand that before a motherfucker make a movie, before they hire the actresses and the actors, the director, and all those things, there is already something written, whether it's a screenwrite, right, for movies and TV, or maybe it's a playwright for plays and shit. You dumbass motherfucking nigga. Right? So when I mentioned, because we ended up getting into this, where I mentioned, they upset. It was the weirdest thing to see Black people on a panel shit on Black people just because you disagree with something they've done. Instead of you shitting on them, maybe you might want to take their lead and create your own. You don't like what Alice Walker has done? Well, make something else. When Black men take and make movies, which I was trying to make a point that I was never able to really make because I was talking to idiots, right? In all those, when I said name, I asked them to name 10 movies where the actors, right? I'm sorry, the producer, the writers, where everything that's done with that movie was a Black person, right? So I already knew there was some Black movies out there. Of course I know that. But I was trying to prove something. And that proof would have been that all those movies that they mentioned were Black men. That's the point. I never really got to make the point that I was trying to make. They kept Mo Better Blues and School Days and Girl Six, and like they were naming them. And I was there. I wasn't shocked. I'm older than you. I watched these motherfucking movies, even if I didn't see the movie. Cause see, the one thing I didn't like no Girl Sick and Mo Better Blues and that motherfucker shit when they had come out with Jungle Fever and shit like that, right? Yeah, no, I wasn't into that. Cause I was a young adult, and now I'm more, I don't know, pro-Black. The messages that Black men was giving in their fucking movies, though, was either on some thug ghetto fucking shit, right? You always bet on Black when it's a man, but when it's your mate, she was everything other than a Black woman. See, y'all don't really want to play the fucking game y'all think y'all want to play. Y'all want to talk about what Alice Walker has done. We could shit on all that. Mookie. We could shit on that shit all fucking day if we want to play games. Show me where that movie showed Black people in a good light. You had the pro-Black in that movie, right? You had the Italians who was running a community that wasn't even fucking theirs. So we know that it's fiction, but it drew on lots of communities for real though, right? That's a fact. In certain areas, the Italians, especially New York, They had the piece of joint. They was the ones with the motherfucking, y'all call them small hats and all kinds of shit. Most of y'all don't know the difference between an Italian and a Jewish person. A Jewish person, that's religion. A Jewish person could be any ethnicity. But your small minds got you thinking of small hats. I get it. I get where the smart hats come from, because they wear a hat on their head. Right? But I'm thinking to myself, like these people, like y'all get dumber and dumber. And then you're mad at the generation of Zennials and these late millennials. You mad at them because they're not following suit to your ridiculous motherfucking thought process. See, because, when we're younger, we have less judgment. Did y'all know that? Did you know when you're younger, you have less judgment? Because you take things for what you see them as. Like what you see is what you get in your mind. That's what you think as a child. You see somebody and they can look friendly, and so you think they're friendly. Now, we know as adults that there is no such thing as looking friendly. Right? Because they got people who look like they could be friendly, but they're not. So children is where you get the rawness, where what they put out, it may not be necessarily true, but at least it's genuine, right? Based on what they see, what they perceive. When we get older, though, we start using other people's thought process to make us think certain things about things, right? We become less genuine. Maybe because we haven't become or know who we are yet. Some of y'all are at that stage where you don't know who the fuck you are. So you need to sit your motherfucking ass down somewhere. Shut the whole fuck up about what's going on in the world. Because, nigga, if you don't know who you are yet, you shut the fuck up. How you gonna tell somebody who the fuck they are, nigga, when you don't know who you are? And I'm going to be honest with you, by the time you turn 40, you definitely should know who the fuck you are. You should know your beliefs. And even if your beliefs end up changing, that doesn't really matter. It's about what you believe in the moment, right? What you believe now and why you believe it. Because, see, everything changes about the world, shit, a lot. A lot. I don't see nothing that I find to be static in this world in which we live in. So you may have a firm belief in what you believe in today. As long as you true to yourself, though. But most of you don't know who you are, and therefore, you just being whatever you want to be, making it up as you go along. Talk about faking it till you making it. You niggas are the most faking it ass motherfuckers I've ever met. And I'm talking about this Manosphere ass shit. Just making it up as you go along from one day, and then you don't even have you can't even stand on it. You don't have any facts. These niggas will break out, well, because back in the day, they did this. And I'm like, back in the day when, nigga? What is you talking about? Y'all mixing up history and time. Y'all taking nonfiction and even making it into fiction with your nonsensical asses. Just don't know shit about what you talking about. Yesterday, somebody mentioned that women, when they started talking about Alice Walker and said that she started the feminist movement, I'm thinking, what? Alice Walker didn't come about until the goddamn 80s, maybe the 70s. Feminism, if y'all don't get this clear, started before slavery ended. Before slavery ended. There were women, white women, the only women who had any say in what a little bit say that they had in their life, they didn't like that shit. Slaves, well, we didn't have no life because we wasn't considered to be human. We wasn't considered as anything but property. So when y'all like to say white women convinced you, white women didn't have to convince of a shit. If we are being mistreated, treated less than, then yeah, it don't take a rocket scientist to realize that, hey, we don't like this and let's see if we could change it. So no, white women didn't have to convince black, and that bullshit where y'all try to say, well, black women didn't have those problems. Black women had problems unique to themselves. Yes, that's true. And it was a lot of them. This nonsense of making it seem like black men were great. Black men are men. They're people. Unless you're telling me they were great, just great motherfuckers. Everybody walking around with their skin color being one color is great, then okay, if that's what you're telling me. Even in slavery, y'all said that's not true. You had black men who only care about making money, even if it meant that they would catch other black people for white people. I guess he was great too, huh? We're gonna make it seem like just because a person is a certain skin tone, that means they so great and they doing so everything right. I don't think that in the reverse neither. I don't think just because they got white skin that they bad. Because if that was true, slavery would still be existed today. So yeah, I'm sorry. I know there's some of you who are so pro-black that you think everything other than black is bad. And I'm okay. You could think the way you want to think. It's just that you won't be able to get any of your agenda done if you really trying to get something done. You're in your own way. You're not even smart enough to understand that you can't do it alone. And I think some of y'all are okay that you can't do it alone because you're not really trying to do nothing any fucking way except complain. That's all you want to do. You want to sit there, look like you against some shit and just talk about it. But if you was really trying to be about it, you would know that you got to shake hands with people who have the same mindset that you have, where y'all can get shit done. But if you just knocking somebody back, even not Martin Luther King, even Malcolm X himself told y'all that. He was so pro-black that when a white woman asked him, what could we do to help you? He had nothing nice to tell. Yeah. So we don't even want to take real history and learn from it. We want to just be mad and we want to do the same, make the same mistakes of the people who went before us, the people before us who left us, God damn it, a book on what not to do and maybe what to try to do. And yet, y'all motherfuckers so disrespectful and you don't even want nobody's books. Not only do you not want anybody's books, which I could get that, you don't even want to read and learn so you could create your own books. You just want to create false narratives. You're not even mature enough to understand that the world around you doesn't just spin around you and focus on you. Things that you decide, things that you go against, you don't know, it might not help you per se because, you know, what is it to you to have a black little mermaid? But you know what you're not thinking about? Your future family members, your sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters. You ain't even considering them. That's how I know when I'm talking to real selfish, ignorant ass little motherfuckers. You barely say 2 words about your children and even less about your grandchildren or your grandchildren to be. Like, why do they need a black mermaid? You ain't say that when they turned Johnny into a black man. What his name was? Remember the guy who turns into fire. He was with the Fantastic Four. When they turned that white man into a black fucking superhero, the one thing I didn't see you niggas on here complaining about that. And I like the movie. You know, when you playing super fictitious characters, they can be any color. And you know, when they pull it off, when the movie is playing along, and you never even think to yourself, damn, he should have stayed white. Or damn, she should have stayed black. Or damn, like, wow. So nobody is making Hollywood change the color of their characters. But what has happened, what Hollywood has found, is that when they put other ethnicities in, that they get more money. Black people have always spent money in entertainment. But now we have brown people too, right? They make her not too dark, not too light, and she can be a mermaid for all types of ethnicities. She could be the mermaid for the Indian, the Native American, the Mexican, and so on and so forth. But she's a mermaid. Now let's get back to The Color Purple, because that conversation revved off just like I just did. It revved off into, yeah, why they making this and why they making that and why they doing this and why they doing that. First of all, you ain't making nothing. So you just yelling about some shit. You yelling about some shit that was so beloved. You wonder why it's beloved. Ask your mama and your grandmama why it's beloved. Sit down and ask them, what about that movie that they connected to? And you're not going to like the answer, black man, and that's why you're not going to ask. That's why you're not going to ask. Because when you start hearing about how much of sexual assault was happening and families kept it secret, you ain't going to like it. It was happening more than you like to think. Was everybody doing it? No. But a lot of families had it. It was being done in. And it didn't matter about color or ethnicity or nor religion. We didn't have no CPS knocking at the door to make sure you okay. There was no motherfucking school where kids was, when they had to go to school and people was checking on them, making sure they're good. See, that's the life you live. That's the generation we in right now. That's where kids have to go to school. That's only been since me, I'm sorry. Generation X. Anything other than Generation X, you was not required to go to school. Kids was able to work from like 5 years old if they wanted to. Families had their children working with them, going in the fields with them. And I'm not even just talking about black. That's happening still today. So that's why they had to put child laws in place. Anyway, I'm gonna put this link in. So if you want to know what the issue is with The Color Purple, why it's so beloved, or why people, connected to it, well, I can only tell you that I see aunts and uncles, I see neighbors, I see, like, in almost every single person in that movie, I recognize somebody, whether in my family or in my community, in that motherfucking movie. See, I am the generation where when my grandmother worked at a juke joint, because we from the South, there was still juke joints, motherfucker. They was just leaving. And in fact, we call them hole in the walls today, but that's what a juke joint was, though. a small little place where the people in that area would go and spin their tunes. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to have no band because they had this jukebox, in case some of y'all have never seen one. Used to be this big thing. And you would just put your money in. I remember when it was a nickel. Put a nickel in and the record would come and play. You ain't need no band. There was no motherfucker DJ. That shit is in the 80s DJing in a motherfucking place. You used to go in a place and there was nothing but the cook, the tables, and motherfucking people in there. And if you wanted to hear some music, you would go to that goddamn jukebox and put your money in it. The next song that comes up was based on somebody putting their money in there and saying what the next song was going to be. It was called what we call a playlist today, where they have always done some shit like that. See, I understand why you don't know that though. Because by the time most of y'all was born and old enough to even go into any establishment, you didn't see no motherfucking jukebox. In fact, I would say by the time I was a teenager, they wasn't even jukeboxes, the big ones no more. There would be some small little thing sitting on a table. Sitting on a table where while you sitting at this table, you could put some money in it and listen to some songs. By the time most of y'all born, now we got DJs. Hip hop has hit the scene. See, my grandmother worked at a juke joint. And she would, when she was watching me, or when she wasn't, my mom and dad would drive me there. And I would go in and everybody was bragging. Of course, my grandmother gonna brag on her grandchild. I'm her damn near first grandchild who was actively in her life, right? I'm the granddaughter. I'm the first granddaughter for sure. In fact, besides until my sister came, which was much, much later, because my sister wasn't born until like the late 80s. Okay. I was the only grandchild. And so, I'm sorry, granddaughter. Did I say grandchild? I meant granddaughter. I was the only granddaughter. Wasn't the only grandchild because it was my brother. I had cousins who were boys. I was the only girl. So they would go and bring me and she's like, oh, and everybody's like, oh, she's so cute and all this shit, right? And my grandmother used to work in the kitchen at the juke joint. Seemed like all the people on that side of the family, my dad, aunts, uncles, everybody apparently were cooks. My dad used to work in New Orleans as a motherfucker cook when he was younger. So everybody were cooks. And I grew up going to the juke joint. And also, my generation, the ones where we could go and still buy alcohol and we was able to still go and buy cigarettes and all that shit. I remember not even being old enough to read, but getting a note from my parents, walking down to the store and walking away with a beer and some cigarettes for my grandparents or my dad. So that's the generation. And you saw that in the color purple. You know what I saw in the color purple? You know, when they went in there in that store and there was a black woman walking around helping. No, I think that was the movie where they killed all them people. Forget the name of that movie. I like that movie too. Y'all ain't saying shit about that movie. If they remade that movie. See, I recognize buildings look like that juke joint with the rainy ceiling. Well, I recognize that. Not only did I recognize at the juke joint, but my grandmother's house, when it rained, there would be a leak in the ceiling where they would just put a bucket and catch the water. So it's easy for you to put your motherfucking life experience, which is, by the way, easy because you're spoiled fucking rotten. And I don't know if it's good or bad, because of course I don't want my sons to suffer anything that might be uncomfortable for them. But at the same motherfucking time, though, if this shit go a crashing down, some of you motherfuckers, y'all are done. You're done. Okay? Spoiled, and y'all don't even recognize how easy you have it. And things about to get easier and easier, but I'm thinking that's more dangerous. The easier shit get, once something else is doing everything for you, you no longer have control of nothing. You don't learn how to do it yourself, then you gonna have to do it the way they want you to do it. Healthy, unhealthy food, y'all don't grow your own food. So if they decide to make some bread and decide to put arsenic or anything poisoning or unhealthy in it for you, just so you could be sickly, so another pharmaceutical company can make money on the back end, and they're in cahoots, well, you ain't got no choice, because your dumb ass don't know nothing about seeds or dirt or soil or making your vegetables grow to where you could go out and grab you a tomato right off your motherfucking garden. Y'all remember a couple of years ago, tomatoes has never been the same in this country. I remember when tomatoes, they said they were, I don't know what happened exactly, but they said they had no tomatoes. I think something happened to the crop. And so the few tomatoes that they did have, that shit went sky fucking high as fuck. Tomatoes are easy to grow though. People would, oh, there's no, if you wanted to, right now, that shit changed everything. Because if you want a slice of tomato on your sandwich that's really not there, they charge you 50 cents for one slice of tomato. You can spend 50 cents and get a whole shitload of seeds that'll make you so many tomatoes. It'll last you all year long, all summer. And then what you do, you can them or whatever you want to do with them, so you can use them in the winter months. The easiest fucking thing to grow. And there's other fruits and vegetables like that too. But your ass is so spoiled that you won't even take an extra minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes to make it yourself. All I keep hearing is, they take too long. I'm like, no, it don't take long. Nah. It just seems like it take too long. It don't take long. Nah, well, I could take that 3 minutes, mixing it up, but I don't want to take the 3 minutes that it's going to take. I'm like, it's take the same amount of time. I don't know. I got to go buy too much of this. Okay, listen, you don't want to control your health. See, we didn't have that issue though. Like, we didn't have that issue. And then when we find out that they're actually poisoning us, right? When that started coming out a few years back, 10 years back, right? We still learning shit. We still learning today that these motherfuckers knew this shit was harmful to us. And yet the US, due to something called capitalism, refused to take action. Other countries have. I thought we were the better country. I thought we were the best. I thought our country loved us as much as we love it. And yet they refuse to ban certain things that they know are killing people and creating cancers. Because it's capitalism. A business said, you don't have to make money. If people want to buy our product, then they should. And the government might be saying, well, they don't know that they could get ill and die. So we'll put a little in our commercial. That's right. We're gonna put it in our commercial. That they agreed. Then they made the warning so small, and commercials, when they had that fine print, they made the people read it, but they read it so fast. They read it so fast. Oh, by the way, the product that might cause blindness, baldness, and stop you from breathing one day. It just happens so fast, and nobody's listening to it. I listen to it. I'd be like, God damn, they're a product, y'all, for women. Listen to this one. A product that guaranteed to grow your eyelashes long. I'm not even lying. When long eyelashes started, shit, about 10, longer than that. Let me see. I remember eyelashes coming about maybe around 2010, maybe a little longer, but around that, a little longer than that, okay. Maybe 2004. I remember seeing the eyelashes, and there's been a long history of the eyelashes that up to this point. I remember when people were putting them on themselves, and then I remember when you would go and get them done. Right? You go to a professional and they'll put them on for you. I remember the different glues and shit, because I never put them shits on. Right? I still have the one pack I bought that long ago. I see it when I go in my jewelry box. They pretty, but I never put them shits on because I didn't know how, right? Especially when I found out that was glue that you put on your eyelashes. I was like, suppose this shit get in my eye, Anyway, so maybe around 2000, I don't know, 10, I saw a commercial, and the commercial said it was offering something that grow your eyelashes. I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute, they got something that gonna grow your eyelashes. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, and then this motherfucker, when they started announcing all the issues that could come from it, one of them was blindness. And I'm thinking to myself, if anybody go to get this, they got to be straight fucking crazy. You got to be straight fucking loony. That you care about the length of your eyelashes so much that you are willing to risk going blind. I was like, God damn. I don't know if that commercial still exists, because I don't really look at commercials anymore. We ended up getting where I could record movies, and I record every movie I watch, every show I watch, so I can fast forward through commercials. Okay, that's the only reason for DVR for me, because I'm always home. If I want to watch shit, I can watch it live. I DVR it just so I can fast forward through commercials. So anyway, y'all got to start paying attention. This country we live in is not here to care about your health. In fact, they make money off you being sickly. They make money off you being sickly. And if your ass don't want to do the extra shit that it takes to make sure that you don't be sickly, I don't know what to tell you. Ain't shit I could do. Okay? Ain't shit I could do. And I damn nearly gave up. I said, you know what? I don't know. Me taking my time to show how to make this, because it's not the cooking. It's me setting up the cameras and getting a shot and making it close enough and explaining it and all that shit. That shit take a lot of my motherfucking time. And I said, well, damn, is people even like, are you watching? Do you care? Are you trying it? And it's usually people of other races that hit me up and tell me that they tried it. That's what I noticed from having my channel before it got deleted. White people. Like, I ain't even lying. I had one of my videos went viral. It's the one showing people how to clean that glass dish, because those things get dirty And you can't get that shit off. And I show people how to clean that shit off. And you should see how many people was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe this worked. It's help. So if you see them glass dishes at Goodwill, anywhere, yard sales, and they got standing on it, buy that shit. They be selling it for cheap as hell. Buy it. Okay. And then I got a video that shows you how to clean that shit up. Also, you see cast iron skillets in garage sales or Salvation on Goodwill, things like that. Buy that shit if it's cheap. Because that shit is high in the stores. And it may be rusted, but then I got a video showing you how to clean that shit, which is easy. And then how to make it non-stick. Because see, that's the bad thing about cast iron. Cast iron is not a non-stick surface. Everything sticks to it. But you make it non-stick. And that's what you do. You make it non-stick. It's okay. And I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to do that. Anyway, let me get away off this shit. Man, you know, this bullshit about making everything racial. It seems like we as Black people, not all of us, but there's a certain group of you claim to be, you're not pro-Black. You say you're not pro-Black. Yeah, which is dumb as shit. I don't think y'all know what pro-Black means. It's nothing. It doesn't necessarily mean you out there being like a Malcolm X, right? Or some of these Muslims and some of these people consider themselves pro-Black. Those are extreme people. Those people are extreme, and most of the time they're not pro-Black. They're pro-religion, whatever their religion is. So there's a difference. There's a difference between what's that dude, Sonetta? Sonetta is not pro-Black. That nigga, that nigga's on some religious kick. Okay? And I don't mean to call him nigga. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. Because I do respect him, right? I don't know him like that. But he's not what I would consider pro-Black. Now, is he against Black people? No, he's not against Black people neither. But at the same time, there is a difference between pro-Black, which is just a person who wants better for our community. You want better. You want our community to do well. You want us to strive and thrive. You want us to move forward. You want us to get mental health issues out the way. You want us to just be good. So that's all being pro-Black is. But somewhere here on YouTube, and you younger, dumber motherfuckers, right? Y'all decided what words mean today. And y'all don't give a fuck what the real meaning of the word is. Y'all just figure, I'm going to make up what the fuck I want. And that's why when you get before other races of people, you look dumb as hell. You don't get to do that. You don't get to remake words. That shouldn't work in our community, right? Nothing wrong with that. But these same people want to do that. You claim you don't want to speak Ebonics. You don't care about, you claim you don't care about Black people because you don't see color. But this weird thing about not seeing color, motherfucker, what, you blind? Because see, I want people to not act like I'm invisible or my color is invisible. See, it's important that people know that we are not exactly the same as others. As long as they don't see color, then they won't have our hair products in their stores. You know why? Because they don't see us. They don't see us and they care nothing about our concerns. And they know that they don't have to because we'll still go give them our dollars. Why would you go to a store that don't sell anything that caters to you? I go in stores and I see an ethnic area. I see where they got Chinese rice and different things that they use. I now see Jamaican things. You see, they learn that they want the dollar. Let me see. Oh, hubby about to come up, y'all. I'm gonna put the link in. Let me see. Encyclopedia's got a stream going. Let me see what you talk about. Oh, something went wrong. You keep telling me something went wrong, y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna put the link in. Encyclopedia's maybe it haven't started. So yeah, we was talking about I was talking about the color purple, right? So let's get back on that. The color purple, let me get back. So y'all know what fiction is, right? And nonfiction. So fiction is false and nonfiction is truthful. There's documentaries if you want factual information, right? And they base their information based on things that have been found, right? But a documentary can also, they put in some storytelling and they kind of let you know, hey, this is based on this, this, and this. This is what we surmise. We believe that this happened. Okay. The color purple is not real, but we're gonna go back to Alice Walker and what she says. First, Alice Walker wrote a couple of books. And so there was a book that she wrote before the color purple. Let me see what it was called. Okay, so listen, look at this. Alice Walker, born in Georgia, a rural family, I'm sorry, a rural farming town, right? To Willie Lee Walker and Minnie Grant. Okay, both of Walker's parents were sharecroppers. Both of her parents were sharecroppers. And what was Mr.? Mr. was a sharecropper. Oh, yeah. See how she drew off her life? Oh, but it's more, baby, it's more. Okay, so though her mother also worked as a seamstress to earn extra money. What part of the movie showed that? Oh, yeah. Remember, in the end, she became a seamstress and she created pants for women. Not only for women, but the pants were for men too. She created this wraparound type of pants. That was in the movie. Oh, so her mother and father were sharecroppers and her mother was a seamstress. And neither one of these jobs are abnormal in the motherfucking 1900s. After slavery, lots of Black people became sharecroppers down south because those plantations were still trying to make money. So, oh, does that sound familiar to the color purple? Huh. Okay, we're not even done. Okay. Walker, the youngest of 8 children, was first enrolled in school when she was just about 4 years old, right? As an 8-year-old, she sustained some injury in the right eye after one of her brothers fired a BB gun. Okay. So we're gonna get rid of that. We don't care about that. Okay. There was a part that I wanted y'all. Okay. The school was segregated when she went to school. Because she's my parents' age, so of course. Let's see. She wrote let me see. Walker became pregnant at the start of her senior year and had an abortion. This experience, as well as about her suicidal thoughts that followed, inspired much of her poetry. So she wrote poetry at first. And I'm coming, babe. You got everything? You gonna bring it over here, right? So I can see you and talk to him while I do it for you. Okay. Let me see. Y'all hold up. Yeah. Let me. This. I need to long. Oh, you got it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Got that. And the nail clippers. Let me see. I haven't seen the nail clippers, babe. They might be over there in your bag. Okay, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna put the link up, but in a few, I want to finish getting through this so we can explain how the color purple is a little bit drawn from things she saw and in her life and people around her. Okay, so she wrote a couple of books, by the way, but there was one thing that I did know about her. Let me see if it's true though. If I remember, because I might be remembering wrong. Let's see. Let's see. She have some articles. Okay. This is when she wrote. So her second novel, Meridian, was published. Meridian is a novel about activist workers in the South during the Civil Rights Movement, with events that closely parallel some of Walker's own experiences. It parallels. So the book is fiction, but she's based on her life experiences. She wrote it just like The Color Purple. Okay. In fact, she wrote a couple of books after Color Purple, which kind of is a little bit of The Color Purple, right? But you gotta read the book. Anyway, she said in 1982 she published what has become the best known work, The Color Purple, right? The novel follows a young, troubled Black woman who is not just fighting her way through a racist white culture, she is also fighting her way through patriarchal Black culture. Okay, it became a bestseller, as we see in 1985. In 2005, Broadway musical totaling 910 performances. And that means that it was on Broadway for at least 3 years. If they did a performance every night of the week for 3 years. Okay. Here we go. Walker has written several other novels, including The Temple of My Femar. How you say Femar? I can't pronounce it, y'all. It's right there. Femar, like when you something familiar to you. Feel familiar. That kind of, but like that, yeah. And the Possession of the Secret of Joy, right? Possessing the Secret of Joy in 92, which featured several characters and descendants of characters from The Color Purple. Okay, that's usually how writers write. They write something. The next book, it's like even in my mind, I have a series already in my mind. A series. This is how the first book will go, right? And then ready for a second book. The second book will be similar to the first, not similar, but it will be the same characters, right? And so that's how everything went for her, right? Anyway, in the next two books. So there was a part that here we go. Maybe this is it. Let me see. I'm looking for because maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that she had did something in Africa, which which is the part of Nettie. Remember, Nettie ended up in Africa. Kind of weird, you know, that back then Black people went to Africa to better. I think her. Remember in the book, they went to Africa to help Africans. While in this country, right, Black people was trying to help themselves, but they went to Africa to help Africans, which was weird. But I get that's what she used in her story, right? I'm trying to find it. I thought that's what I had read years ago, but I could be wrong. Let me see. She got divorced, and she was divorced the year I was born. No. She got Rebecca she had a daughter, Rebecca, in 69. So she has a daughter my age. Walker and her husband was divorced in 76. I may be wrong about that. I could have sworn. This is what it says. Walker's spirituality has influenced some of her best-known novels, including The Color Purple. So I know we know The Color Purple because it came a movie, but she, like I said, she has some novels out there. Okay. She has written of her interest in transcendent meditation. Walker's exploration of religion in much of her writings draws on literary, listen, y'all. Me and pronouncing these goddamn words today is just not happening. Probably because my head is hurting real bad right now. Which I need to take some medicine, maybe I don't know what I thought, and I could be wrong. First of all, here go her books, y'all. Awards and honors. No, that's not the books. I'm sorry. That's our awards. Here go her novels right here. In 70, she did The Third Life of Grant Copeland. She got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 novels. Here go her collection of poetry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 collections of poetry, which is poems and drawings and things. Her nonfiction books, which is nonfiction. These are real stories, right? She got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of those. So she got 12 nonfiction books. She got 11 or 12 poetry collections, not just a poem, a collection of poetry, right? And then she had her novels here, which novels and short story collections. This woman has been writing, right? And yesterday somebody referred to her like as that stupid bitch, or made it seem like this woman is my mother's age, like, you know what I mean? Like, she deserves respect even for just that from somebody Black. And just because you disagree with one of her books, you didn't even read the collection. You just assumed that she just hate Black men, which I didn't really get that from The Color Purple. I tell you, oh, I could talk and do your feedback. So, because so we can take a shower around 11. Anyway, people act like she just this woman, and all y'all know for is The Color Purple. Nothing wrong with that. If you're not into books and poetry and things like that, that's all you would know. Also, I thought I heard some people referring to her as in feminist movement, right? Some of the things that she wrote about, especially The Color Purple, that would probably have a lot of women, especially Black women, reaching out to her, because the story is the story is, whether it's true or not, it helps women, right? To hear of another woman who father or messed with her when she was a kid, Yeah, they may have had a lot of women reaching out to her to say, hey, thank you for making that movie. It helped me get through my situation. I thought I was the only one, but what Miss Silly went through, that really helped me process and get help. And then Sophia, right? Sophia was like one of my aunts, man. I'm telling you, I have an aunt. She didn't punch or hit, but the reason she probably didn't punch or hit is because they knew better than to hit her. You see what I'm saying? I think I have two aunts like that, y'all. Like my uncles wasn't the type that hit anyway. Okay. I had one uncle who whipped and beat my aunt. Like I'm talking about beat her bad. I ain't talking about just no pushing her down bullshit. I'm talking about beat her bad for no reason. Some of these men will be like, well, I wonder what she did. First of all, it don't matter what she did, but I can tell you what she did. One day, she came home from work, and we were young, and so she had two daughters older than me, just by like 2 years. I think my oldest cousin, she like 2 years older than me, and her other daughter is 1 year older than me. So, and then she had her son, which is 1 year younger than me. You see how that go? So it was me, my brother, who also is 1 year younger than me. So, what a knife, I think. Oh, yeah, okay. So so I'm at my aunt's house, right? Now my parents didn't know this, and and I'm young, so it's not like afterwards I ran home and told. You see what I'm saying? Uh, we were kids. Um, so we was over there. I remember it's one particular incident where my aunt used to work at the hospital, Charity Hospital. She was a nurse. She came home, she opened the door, came in, and my uncle was sitting in his chair. It's like his favorite chair, sitting in the living room, sitting there watching TV. And she comes home and he tells her to go to the bedroom. And she goes to pick up my cousin, who was a baby at the time. He probably was like 2 years old, 3 years old, right? Um, and she goes to the kitchen to start dinner because he was there all day. He didn't do shit. Okay. Um, and he tells her to go to the bedroom. And she says, okay, she goes to put the baby down. And no, he goes walk up to her and drag her by hair and drag her in the bedroom. She's in there crying and everything. We kids, we don't know what to do. And I guess he wanted to have sex with her. So he grabbed in there, ripped her clothes off, beat her, and then had sex. And when they were done, she got in the shower. Yeah, she didn't do nothing to him. He was drunk. He had gotten out the Navy. I think he went Army first, then he went Navy, and then he lost his leg in the Navy. And so he was a drunk. And what's weird about this shit is my aunt, she's my aunt because she's my mother's sister, but he's my uncle because he's my dad's brother. So it's not like once they got divorced, I had no contact with him anymore. It was two sisters married, two brothers. And we we're not gonna act like that was not abnormal, because there was nothing a woman could do. If her husband told her to do something and he decided to whip her, that's why your parents back then would tell a woman, hey, you got duties that you gotta do. You don't want to get him mad. So when we looked at Tina Turner and Ike Turner, right? Remember what the mother told her? See, y'all judge her mother based on how the rules and regulation work today. But back then, her mother told her exactly what she was supposed to tell her. Go back to that man, treat that man this way. You you got to go do your part. You got to do what you and make sure you don't get him angry. Today we don't do that, right? But back then, yeah. Back then, that's exactly what happened. Okay. I think people think because the mother said that because he was wealthy or some shit like that. That's not why the mother told her to do what she did. The mother told her that because that's what women did back then. And you hope that you didn't get with a bad man who would abuse you and shit. Okay. Somebody said that Tina mother, so somebody said yesterday, I'm not sure if it's true because I didn't I didn't look at no documentary on no Tina Turner. But somebody said that Ike, did you hear this? Babe? Ike Turner, no, that her mother sold her to Ike for some crack or heroin.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that's messed up. And that could be true, but it's weird that they blame the mother for what she did, which could be true, but it's the fact that Ike bought her. Okay. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know what her mother did and didn't do. Hey man, put the link out so I can do his feet. Let me see. I gotta put the link in. So what y'all have to say about because yesterday it was crazy, yo. I just went up there to have a conversation, just a regular conversation. And it was I felt like I felt like they were like, I think Aunt T was like, well, why y'all mad that I'm mad? I'm like, I'm not mad that you're mad. I didn't even know he was mad. I just went over there because he'll come up here and participate. I was over there, so I went over there to participate. And Randy loves Randy. You just you said that's a lie. I don't know if that's true, Randy. I just said I didn't know. Hubby said he think he heard something similar. It may be comparison with Alice Walker's experiences, but I haven't met a writer who doesn't embellish their stories to try to. I agree, Simo. I agree with you 100%. Like, Cola, what's going on? I saw the original OK in Manhattan, New York. Oh, did you? Was it good? I just I went to see a play here in Delaware. And I actually had a nice time. Which made me want to go and start seeing plays. I had no idea plays could be so good. Because I'm not from the South, y'all. They actually had a play. Remember that play, man? You didn't go, did you? Okay. Remember, it was right there at the church right there. And Ashley, it was me. I thought you came with us, but maybe not. It was good. It's when Ashley. It was before she was pregnant. But it was Lewis was with us. Her, me, Lewis. I think the kids. I don't know why I thought you came. You sure? It was good. I was like, damn, this is what a play is. Anyway, y'all. What's up, Mr. Kev? How you doing? But I don't know why. The Color Purple is just a movie. It was a novel. The novel is much better than the movie. And I know a couple of men, they focus on Mr. Yet Mr. was an asshole. But Mr. wasn't always an asshole the whole time. Did y'all remember that? Remember when they both liked what her name, baby? They had Suge. They both liked Suge. Remember when Suge came and they found out Suge was coming and they was all happy. Y'all remember that? And then that's when Suge came with her husband. um, so, but yeah, Mr. was an asshole. But listen, they got assholes when you think that you want to control things. I don't understand why he would keep her letters for my sister, but he was remember he was trying to punish her. I don't understand the letters, but that's the book though, right? It don't have to make sense. Um, he used to beat her. What shocked me is the fact that the only person who ever got the mail in all those years was him. You know? And what also shocked me is the fact that Suge knew where he hid his stash at, but the woman who lived with him didn't. Or maybe she didn't care either. So also the part with the when she put a curse on him, y'all, people don't really believe in curses, so got a lot of people don't believe in the curse. The reason everything around him started to fall apart because he no longer had her. He gotten older, his health. But if he was sharecropping, he wasn't share. Somebody told me, well, the reason his sharecropping thing went because he got old. What does that mean? If he's sharecropping, I'm quite sure it's not just him. But that's the thing. It was a movie. Sharecropping is the whole family, your whole family, or you hire other people. It's not just one man sharecropping. Okay, so that was ridiculous. That's how I know when I'm speaking to young people who just don't know what these things are. Okay, these plantations went from having lots of slaves to needing people to help them. So if we made a contract that hey, we're gonna share in the amount of profit, then it's not just me out there. It's gonna be me, maybe my sons, maybe my daughters, or maybe it's a group of us, a group of adults, men who say, okay, yeah, we're gonna work this farm. You giving us a certain percentage of this, and then we might have to divvy that up between families or just one family. Okay. But they made it seem like he was wealthy. But then there's a book. It wasn't real. Because I'm thinking, there's not a lot of black wealthy people back then. They tried to make it seem like he was wealthy. I was like, nah. Coda said, it's one of my favorite movies. I still have the playbill. I like that. I like the color purple. And it's not for the reasons that the men online are claiming. Making it seem like, oh, they made us look bad. Nah, I'm gonna tell you what made black men look bad if you want to talk about movies. Juice and all the movies where they show y'all being drug addicts and murderers and killers. Yeah, that's if anything made black men look bad. And I'm not even saying that made you look bad, but it kind of did though. It made you look scary. It made you look like you're criminals. It made you look like all you want to do, you either own drugs or you're selling the drugs. Um, Then even in those movies, it made black women look bad too, right? Because they had black women accepting bullshit, or the black mother who had her sons doing certain things, and knowing about it. I ain't never seen nobody in my family where one of them, because I have some cousins who were doing some fucking shit. Baby boy, yep. Baby boy had men looking like they babies. Um, I don't think anybody was looking at the color purple. He's oh, did Baby Boy come out before Color Purple Man? No. Oh, okay. Uh, because Big J said Baby Boy made black men look bad, then Color Purple. Uh, I don't think the Color Purple made black men look bad. I think I don't think y'all look bad. I think because remember they had other men on there. His son wasn't that bad, but y'all claim that he looked bad because his wife beat him. But he tried to do what his dad did, and that shit didn't work. So remember, his son wasn't like his dad. His son didn't even want to be like his dad. The only reason he even got beat by Miss Sophia is because her Witchcom told her to beat her. And so he attempted to be like his dad. And he loved her, remember? What's going on, time traveling? How you doing? So I think if anything made black men look bad, it would be like Baby Boy. Because in Baby Boy, we had criminals who lived with their mama. Both of them men live with their mama. And then one of them ended up turning to religion. And then Yvette, who was the money maker, right? Which is crazy as hell. She the one who owned her own house, car, taking care of her own child, right? And her child's father. And then she had a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend who was a jailbird. And who was willing to kill just to keep her. The movie is, you see, when I look at it from a movie standpoint, it's a good movie. You look at it with these eyes that y'all want to look at movies with and make them seem real, then yeah, they're terrible fucking movies. That's why my mom told me when I was a kid that movies are just for entertainment purposes and not to be a life lesson. When those people are writing those novels and those stories, they are trying to capture the audience, make it fun or a nice story, and they're not thinking about moral. The movies aren't, the books and the movies aren't for morality value. It's not there to teach you a lesson. Okay, it's for entertainment. But you had already did it, or you just soaked yesterday? Okay. So that's what I found, and we're being ridiculous, and black men are definitely the ones in the Manosphere being extra ridiculous. Okay, we already had an issue with this, the mermaid, and those people didn't put out the mermaid as "ooh, we gonna finally have a black mermaid." That's not even how that went down. They showed a little preview of the Little Mermaid, and she just happened to be black. Okay, she just happened, probably qualified. We know she could sing. We know she was beautiful. And then people started focusing on her color. I don't think they went around and said, "Oh, we're gonna look for a black Miss Mermaid." I think they were looking for another Little Mermaid, and they went with the best person for the job at the time. And it's not about her, just her being black. Hey, Caitlin, how you doing, sis? Candy Cane Lane. Hi, Lena. It wasn't that bad. I could just open right here. And then, let's see. Yeah, so that's what we got to realize. And then, like I said earlier, our children watching, I think it is a good thing is when Black and brown children can see themselves in characters, you know? And I don't think it takes away from the others out. Even young white kids not gonna look at that movie and be like, oh my God, she don't look like me. Because they got a lot of representation already. They know that they can be mermaids and princesses and okay. Anyway, and she is the best person. Yeah, she's very talented. We've heard her sing. I've never seen her act before, I don't think. Um, I know. So there was an argument about her being a mermaid. I'm thinking mermaids don't really exist, so they could be any color, right? Can you imagine if they had no color at all? Because they really don't exist. They really don't exist. We can't make it seem like color doesn't matter, though, right? Representation matters. Just to know that a little girl knowing that she could be a mermaid, she could be a princess, even though we know that they can't. Unless the only way they're gonna be a princess, or yeah, did they marry into a certain type of family, right? But for kids, though, we're not mad whether Santa Claus is white or black. I like when I see a black Santa Claus. If if they had them more often, nobody would be caring. It'd be like, okay, kids know they could be a white Santa Claus or a black Santa Claus. Are we gonna complain when the rabbit decides to be a black rabbit? Oh my God. Anyway, I'm not sure who's live. If nobody come up, y'all, I'm gonna have to shut it down because I'm finished doing hubby feet, and then we're gonna take a shower because Leak was here all weekend. Okay, and then I'll probably be back on though because I'm a sew. Something I'm a sew. So let me look around and see who's live. I was supposed to be up here to celebrate Devastating birthday, but we're gonna do that this week, all week long. But yeah, Leak kept me busy, y'all. Wait, let me see. I gotta go here. Live. Let me see. It shows me. I gotta go home. Look like Kendra is live. Oh, Sunkiss is live. Look like she's live right now. Let me see who else. Look like what her name? She changed it to USB live. Unsolicited security boss. She looked live. Couples that mastered their domestic roles win. Okay. And she always got something goofy. The business, is he live? What's this dude name? I forgot. The business podcast. Isn't that when a woman's get cut from the team? Oh my God. Let me see who else is live. Oh, we got quite a few. Platinum Elite is live. Anton Daniels is live. Vasectomies. Look, we was talking about vasectomies and now they over there talking about, let me see if they still talk about it. Okay, yeah. Anton is live, and let me see who else. Let me give y'all one more. Um, uh, let's see. Anyway, y'all probably got it. Psychopathy. Patheist is live as well. Little Black Book is live, and that's everybody who's on my list. Okay, but Platinum Elite, Anton, Psychopatheist, Little Black Book, Miss Queen, Sunkiss, that's Sunkiss, y'all. USB AK game. I think it's my grandson. He apparently my grandson is subscribed to some people. And Kendra G, y'all, she live. I never caught I've never caught one of her lives before. Okay. So anyway, y'all go check them out when I'll be back later. Okay. Later, probably in the morning.